At 6:30 in the morning, the residential colonies of South Delhi are typically quiet and secure. High gates and private security guards give the families living here a reliable sense of safety. Inside one of these homes lived a 22-year-old woman with a remarkable academic record. She had recently graduated from the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, one of the country's most rigorous institutions. Her next target was the highly competitive Union Public Service Commission exams, the sole gateway to securing a role in India's elite civil services. Preparing for this exam requires intense focus. On the advice of her parents, she decided to shift her study schedule to the quiet hours of the early morning. Wednesday was day one of this new routine. She set herself up in a separate one-room study space built on the home's terrace. Shortly after she began working, her parents left the house for their daily gym session. For a brief window of time, she was the only person left on the property. During that exact window, an unidentified man bypassed the colony's exterior security. He didn't pick a lock, scale a wall, or force a window open. He simply walked straight up to the house and let himself in. A common burglar searches for weak points and struggles with perimeter defenses. This intruder moved with the absolute certainty of someone who already knew exactly how the home operated. The man was 19-year-old Rahul Meena. He was intimately familiar with the layout of the property because he had worked for the family as domestic help for 8 months before being fired. Meena suffered from a severe gambling addiction, repeatedly losing money on an online betting app called Teen Potty. To fund his habit, he constantly borrowed money from other domestic staff in the neighborhood, a pattern of behavior that ultimately cost him his job. Looking at this map tracking his movements over the previous 24 hours, we see a disturbing escalation. The night before, Meena sexually assaulted a woman in the city of Alwar. He then stole a mobile phone, sold it for 10,000 rupees, and used that cash to hire a cab straight to his former employer's home in South Delhi. He weaponized his memory of the household. He knew exactly when the parents would be out at the gym, and he knew a spare key was kept hidden inside a specific shoe rack near the entrance for the staff to use. Meena entered the house expecting to find it either completely empty or with his target asleep. But because it was the very first day of her new study schedule, the 22-year-old was awake and working in the terrace room. A family's simple attempt to encourage better study habits placed their daughter directly in the path of a predator, exploiting the leftover trust of his former employment. When she questioned why he was there, Meena tried to lower her guard by lying, claiming her mother had called him in for some work. He then demanded money. She refused. The argument escalated into a physical attack. Meena struck her with a nearby lamp, strangled her using a mobile charging cable, and sexually assaulted her while she was unconscious. He then returned to his primary goal of securing cash. Meena dragged the young woman's body down the stairs and into the room where the family kept a secure locker holding cash and jewelry. This diagram illustrates how modern biometric security actually works. These systems validate entry by measuring specific physiological traits, including the electrical capacitance of the skin, body heat, and the active flow of blood beneath the surface. When Meena pressed the victim's blood-stained finger against the scanner, the device rejected it. The sensors detected no pulse and no electrical capacitance. She had already died. Unable to bypass the lock biometrically, he resorted to prying it open with a screwdriver. The biometric system's refusal to open provided investigators with a precise forensic timestamp of the victim's passing. Before leaving the house, Meena systematically cleaned himself up. He stripped off his blood-stained clothes, changed into a pair of trousers belonging to the victim's brother, and swapped his own shoes for a pair of slippers he found lying around. Exiting the colony, he maintained a perfectly calm demeanor. He held a phone to his ear, pretending to be on a call to blend in with the morning commuters as he walked to the nearby Palam railway station. His attempt to disappear didn't last long. Police tracked his movements and arrested him while he was hiding out in a hotel room in Delhi's Dwarka neighborhood. Investigators are now sorting through a dark intersection of motives. There is the desperate need for cash to cover gambling debts, a lingering grudge over being fired, and a documented pattern of predatory sexual violence from the night before. The tragedy of this case lies in how the victim's own environment was turned against her. By knowing the location of the spare key and the timing of the parents' morning routine, the intruder was able to transform a secure home into a site of inescapable vulnerability.